Here we go, just to give you a brief update. My name is Dawn. Back when I was using, there was no hope, no help. Mel came out, video recorded me. I promised him I'll do this, I'll call him. Couldn't do it until he, put me on the internet. My daughter kind of found out where I was, put me in the car, and, on the way she was taking me, she said, we got you a place. And I'll try and convince her, I'm not going, sick. I need to, get something. And so she gave me the ultimatum. Okay, I'll stop at grandmom's house. I give you this 5 hours. You go get your thing, but don't ever come back, call me, contact me, stop at the house. I will never talk to you. I don't exist. Or, you get back to 5 hours and we take you to rehab and you better yourself. I snatched that 5 hours out of her hand so fast. And went running out of the car, all the way down Kensington, like 4 blocks was being raided. So it was a sign, but I knew I couldn't get nothing and needed my daughter again. So, I called her. I told her I still have the 5 hours. And, she's like, you already made that choice. But, 5 minutes later, the horn honked and said, get in, and took me all the way to Valley Forge. With the child locks on. I'm sorry, it's my daughter. That's probably my daughter now. With the child locks on, like I was a 2-year-old. Went in the Valley Forge, still was in denial, wanted to get out so bad, trying to plan my escape route out of Valley Forge with not a penny in my pocket, all the way in a, different area, but still in my head I was planning and plotting, until, a few other workers that worked there said, Dawn, you're all over the internet, and I didn't even know it, and then,
okay.
I'm telling you, my daughter has a tracker on her phone now. I can see where she's going, which I don't need to because I know where she goes. I walk to the corner store, my phone's blasting. Where are you at? I'm 49 years old and never thought I would need a tracker, but, for her own sanity, anytime I go, make sure you take your phone with you. One day I was charging my phone and had to run to the store, and next you know, she's running, and it's a why don't you take your phone? And it was charging. Have some faith. She says, give me some faith and I'll have some faith.
But you can understand her.
I understand everything. Fear. My whole thing was, it's my family who did this to me. It's my mom. It's my dad. It's, my dad died. And, I'm the way I am because of that. I'm the way I was because of me. Not nobody else. Like I would say, I blame the tree, the stop sign, the red light. You all did this to me. That's what I made myself feel, so I would have that excuse to use drugs. Now, I'm not using them because I just want to get high and feel that euphoria. I needed, every day I would just plot something in my head that my mom said, my dad, or, last memory with my dad, or the little argument I would have with my daughter and Michael, So, like I'm saying, if the leaves fell in my head, that means I gotta go get high. But anyway, as I was saying, I went and chose a $5 bill over my daughter, over my family's life. I took that bill, ran so fast, and I still held on to it. I actually gave the $5 to Hazel. She was asking Mel for money, and, Mel was like,
Not today.
Not today, all he's done for her. And I figured, and I told her about the $5 bill, and I figured maybe she would hold on to it like I did. I doubt it. I doubt it, but just like I'm saying, I ran off with it. Otherwise, I went to Valley Forge, fought, kicked, tried to plan my escape, sat there, and and the counselor's in there seeing the video, and she's like, oh my God, Dawn, you're famous, trying to make me feel better. And when she showed me, I was almost throwing up. As much as I looked in the mirror every day, I didn't see that. Sober, I thought, I'm okay, Meanwhile, weighing 72 pounds, wearing my niece's daughter's 2 toddler underwear. That's the sick part, and still think I look good, you know what I mean? I had sobriety time before, so I know what it's like. I know what it feels like. And now I finally feel that,
I got one question to ask you, Dawn, because we don't really know what was the root cause of your addiction. So if you can just summarize.
It was, abuse, when I was little by another family member, little things like that. I was defiant. I wanted to fit in, you know. So I went around the people that were doing shit because they were something when they really weren't. And I just wanted to be like them. And, you know, as a kid, you know, I was called names and had a very low self-esteem. Didn't want to go to school, you know, for little names that, you know, nowadays kids curse, fight, hit you over, you know, a stupid little name before. I can't imagine what kids go through now going to school and hearing all that, being bullied. But like I'm saying, you know, I didn't know the first time I was going to do it that I was going to get addicted. I didn't wake up one day and say, oh, I'm going to be, you know, a heroin addict for the rest of my life. I'm going to destroy everything I have just for that drug. I don't think anybody really does. But I mean, I've been suffering with addiction, mental illness, you know, just about my whole life. Had sobriety time, had my mental health under control. And like I'm saying, I let myself slip through the cracks. Like I'm saying, I can't sit there and blame it on anybody now because I had that sobriety time before. So I know what I needed to do. And I just couldn't, you know, chronic relapser, in and out. And my family did everything. But for some reason, because they did all that, I blamed them. You know, because they were trying to help me. And I was mad, angry, and defiant. You know, when I really look at the picture. And my mom did what she did with me because she was watching me kill myself.
So you see a similar thing with Hazel?
I look, the funny thing is about Hazel, I looked in her eyes, and I was seeing her pictures, you know, on Facebook. I was looking right at me. You know, and I've been trying to make plans, you know, go meet her, and, you know, I did, and, you know, it took her a minute, you know, kind of, she was like, who are you? And you're like, what do you want? And it's, so I don't want anything, what do you need? You know, and like I'm saying, I told her, and I keep my word with everything. I might be a day late, but I still keep my word. And I told her, you know, when Mel comes around, I'll come. If he's not around, I'll still come, you know, until you're able to trust me. And I told her through that recovery process, I need people to walk with me, you know, until I was inside somewhere. My daughter was back and forth at ERs with me, sitting in the waiting room, sitting outside when she couldn't come in, watching me through the window so I wouldn't leave. You know, and I told her if I got to do the same thing my family did for me, I don't mind sitting with her, you know, until she gets help. Whether it's a hospital or rehab, because other people did it for me. You know, I owe a lot to my daughter, a lot to Michael, a lot to my mom, Amber, you know, his mother, friends and family that I didn't think I meant anything. I was killing myself slowly but wanting to. You know, suicide attempts, all that, because I didn't want to get high anymore and I couldn't stop, you know, so I thought taking my life would be okay, you know. And, you know, then you see posts, you know, remarks back like, oh yeah, you know, she's dead, or another comment, oh, I wish she was, so she could stop putting her family through misery. And I look at those comments now and I'm kind of grateful that they said it, because what I was doing, I was putting my family through hell. They were living my addiction and the pain I was going through, but more. You know, so those comments, you know,
turn it into positive.
Exactly, completely.
That's great,
you know,
because some people let the comments, you know,
affect them. Like I was saying to you, I had, you know, said something to you, like, you know, about the comments, and you're like, don't listen to them, you know, it's negative. And I'm like, and I said something like you, like, no. And actually, when I look at them, it just reminds me what I was like.
So
you know, where I was, you know, and it's the truth.
And that's how you
like,
flip it.
You know, my family and friends dealing with me, I put them through hell, and they still stayed with me to the end. My daughter should have left me. My
love.
mom.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Regardless.
But I mean, but before it's all because of you is why I do what I do, and you've never helped me, and you've never did this, and you've kept me. No, I did all that to myself.
So yeah, if people want to help someone who has an addiction, how can they help that person?
Just talk to them, you know, just be there. Like I'm saying with Hazel, you know. I was trying to give her a hug, and she's like, in the beginning, she gave me one, and she pounded me, and I told her, like, I will give you back what was given to me. I will stay with you. I will do this, you know. Get a support group, you know what I'm saying? I myself thought I could do it myself. I can't. I can't at all. I built me a network, you know, which is keeping me sober, you know, looking at Mel's page. Keeps me more sober.
I hope that keep you sober, because people see that stuff and some of them still come back out here and go back to the shark tank. And even being up in Kensington, which I haven't been since I've been sober. How you feel being out here?
I'm okay. It's like, but the thing is, I went and got I was on methadone, and then I wanted to come off of it, Because for me, my hair was falling. I was having bad sight. So I got the Subucade shot. So I walked off 45 milligrams of methadone to get the Subucade shot. And since I actually was on methadone and a Subucade, I didn't have that urge at all. Never thought about it. And I also been in, arguments with family members where before, like, I was gone. Now I just sit there and take it and respond. Sometimes I don't. You know what I mean? But stuff like that, and Hazel too. Like I would see myself in her posts, and like I'm saying, people went and reached out their hands for me. I'm not doing nothing but getting sober, so I could reach my hands out to them. House therapy, the Subucade shot, making my appointments, sobriety, talking, speaking at meetings like Valley Forge and stuff like that, giving back what was given to me. I just need to stay doing that because I don't want to stop and stay stuck and go back,
Yes, please don't, love. You came a long way. Your daughter is proud of you, and every child deserves a sober parent, and no more heartbreaks.
She was my mom, and it's sad when I go and look at the other shoe, you know what I mean? But she didn't give up.
That's key.
When they did for a certain, like, did. And I believe at that point, within days, I would have lost my whole family. And I probably would have actually passed away not that much longer from an overdose or, I mean, it's just, I know I came a long way. I'm still not there to pat myself in the back and say, oh my God, you're doing a great job, but I wake up every day. God, I need a bag, look at me, I'm so sick.
And aren't you glad you don't got to go through that no more? What was your withdrawal like through your detox?
I'm telling you.
Tell us about your detox period.
It was horrible. I mean, if I had a saw, I would have cut my legs off. It would go with the rest of the legs. No, it's just, they sent me to 3 different rooms and put caution tape around me because I was violently thrown up that it looked like a massacre. And then that's when they said, Dawn, so I still had to wait days to get on Suboxone. And he said, Dawn, we can give you methadone now. And I was iffy. I have my own opinion of that. But as soon as I got it, next day, I was feeling, trust me, I wasn't feeling better. But, I was feeling okay. And then once you're on it, you got to go every day and get dosed. And I never thought I'd get off of that. Because how it did help me, And then that's when my doctor says, I think you better suit from the Subucade. We don't want to give you Suboxones no more because all you did was sell them. We give you urines, you're hot for everything else but the Suboxone. And I don't want that in my hand. I don't want nothing that could trigger me, like before.
Gotcha. To the people watching this who are still in active addiction, what advice do you have for them?
Anything's possible. Anything's possible. When they say, like, God, I wish they were dead, or they can't make it, or, they're misery to be around. I know I'm actually never believed I could do it, Like I'm saying, people need people out there. There's a lot of negative comments, on posts like this, or they see me doing good and they want to hit me down, because they either want me where they're at, or, But like I'm saying, I know I cannot do it alone. I need the support. And I wouldn't tell anybody else, you could do this by yourself, because it's not true.
What struggles are you having now?
Nothing really. I'm finally making my doctor's appointments. I'm finally going. Everything taken care of this medically, mentally, even physically, I can't say even building a bigger network. I'm not glorifying how great I got it. It's like I'm saying, everybody struggles on the daily. I have my bad days. And I never thought I would have patience, or the way I react, and me being away actually in rehab taught me all that. Trust me, baby steps, because I was mad at the workers. I was defiant. I was even acting out in rage, And when the nurse come in and, trying to minister me, I'm swinging, And they even think I did that. And I don't want to believe I did that, but that really wasn't me doing that, I know I still got to build my support network. So that's, if I ask anybody for help, it just, that's it,
Okay,
it took me all those years getting high and getting better and getting high. Even if I made a friend for each year, I'm one lucky one. You might see me up here, but that's only, like I said, when I keep a promise, I keep it. It's sad for people who do walk away. This is an illness. This is not when somebody wakes up every day saying they want to be or want to do. And they come to places like Philadelphia, all from other states. And just the moments they hit the ground here, forget it. You know, I lost too many people that I can't even cry anymore or go to their funerals. Because it's just so many, I might as well just wear, you know, my black dress and white shirt.
We wrapping things up. AML fam, continue rooting for our girl Dawn, and we're gonna keep following her and keep supporting her. Don't be bitter, y'all. Be better, and we out there. Peace out.